So have you guys ever been in this situation where you're questioning everything and you're asking yourself, how the hell did I end up here? This is a picture of me, 3,000 feet in the air, on top of a ladder, on top of a mountain, asking myself exactly that question. Now, you must be wondering how I ended up here. Stay tuned because that's exactly what we're getting into. Welcome to Transit Thoughts, the show where I go on cool adventures and share with you exactly what I've learned on them. In this episode, I traveled to New Hampshire to climb Mount Cannon, and I'm going to be talking about how I discovered the fastest way to live a more badass life. And we're starting right now. So this all starts out with me getting a message from my friend Joe, and he's like, hey, we're going on a hiking trip, and I want you to come along. And me being the avid hiker I am was like, sure, why not? Sounds fun. I'm not an avid hiker. I have made a mistake. Anyway, we drive up to New Hampshire. We get to our lodge. I'm super amped. I'm like, I got this. Nothing's gonna stop me. We're climbing this mountain tomorrow. And at that point, we just all knock out to get ready for the next day. In the morning, we get up and drive out to where the trail begins. And I'm still amped as if I'd been hiking for years. And then it happens. 15 minutes into the trail, I realized exactly how hard this was gonna be. 15 minutes into the trail, and I felt like my heart was gonna pop out of my mouth and be like, you're stupid, I'm not, I'm leaving, peace. Anyway, about 3 hours into the climb, we get to this random ass ladder that's 3,000 feet in the air because this part of the mountain was literally too dangerous to climb by itself. To give you an idea of how crazy high this was, the Burj Khalifa, the tallest building in the world, is 2,722 feet on top of its antenna. That's like if somebody went to the antenna of the Burj Khalifa, decided to add a ladder there, and then raise it 278 feet because they're just like, screw you, why not? And to make things worse, in case you didn't know this about me, I'm morbidly afraid of heights. And when I say afraid, I mean like I hate going to amusement parks because they only have roller coasters there. And I like living. Or like the first time I got into an airplane as an adult, I had to hold on to my knees for so long because I was so scared that when I got off the plane, I had two big hand-shaped sweat marks on my legs. So it's clear to say, I did not want to do this. There was very little that was going to get me onto this ladder to get me to the other side. But then I see Joe on the other side screaming, just do it! And I'm really there just like, I really don't want to do this right now. Like, I don't think you understand that I don't want to do this right now. Given that I really had no way of going back, I said screw it and I got on the ladder. There were really only two rules for getting across this ladder safely. Don't look down and don't look back. Me and my friend Tommy decided to break both of those rules. We get off the ladder and I realize exactly how high we are at this point. I have a small heart attack for a second and then I think, you know what? There's really no way of going back at this point. I'm invested, so we just keep going. So about an hour of jaggedy and wet rocks later, we get to the peak of the mountain. And the first thing Joe says is, but was it worth it though? But was it worth it though? My immediate response to this in my head was, hell no! Now don't get me wrong, the view was beautiful, but was it worth it? I felt like my heart's gonna stop working for the last few hours. My legs feel like they've been through a meat grinder for no good reason, and I'd have to climb a ladder 3,000 feet in the air on the edge of a mountain just to get here. But then it hit me. A year ago, I wouldn't have done this. Like, you couldn't have paid me to do this. There was no way I would have agreed. But standing there, feeling like I've had the life kicked out of me by this mountain, I realized something. Why all of a sudden, someone who's been scared of heights his whole life had gotten so badass. It was because of the guy standing there on top of the mountain with me, with a grin on his face, asking me, but was it worth it though? So guys, what's the fastest way to live a more badass life? It's really not as complicated as you might think. Just surround yourself with people who are constantly pushing you to grow and limit the amount of people who are pushing you down. In fact, I'd say get rid of them altogether if you can. Now, I'm not saying to go murder anybody over here, but you do have a choice of who you allow into your life and who you don't allow into your life, whether you realize it or not. And the truth is, it may not be easy in the beginning. Some of these people you have probably known your whole life. And when you let them go, you're probably gonna have to spend some time alone kind of figuring out who you are. But 2 years down the line, when you have a life that's you surrounded by people that are constantly pushing you to grow, to be the best version of yourself every day, the journey will definitely have been worth it. And now I want to know about you guys. Who are some people that push you to be your best? Let me know in the comments below. Also, if you're ever in need of any positivity, then definitely go check out the Ouroboros Institute Instagram. We're always pumping out stuff to make you feel warm and fuzzy inside. The link is gonna be in the description below. And as always, guys, thank you for watching. And remember to subscribe for more videos, so check out where I go next. And if you guys are interested in finding out more about my friend Joe, he does have a production company called Flying Pigs Productions. If you're interested in working with him, then please just hit me up at any point. I'll see you guys in the next video, and remember, keep growing.